There's just so much more to hear.
Download our podcasts at DubaiI1038.com.
Cinema group View International currently operates 212 cinema halls in 10 countries, and it has now signed with Saudi real estate and hospitality group Abdul Mohsen Al Hokair Holding to open 30 cinemas in Saudi Arabia. And we're very pleased to have now in the studio Michel Al Hokair, Deputy CEO and GM of Entertainment at the Al Hokair Group. Very good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you so much for coming in. Now, you've signed up to open 30 cinemas in KSA, which is alone an astonishing statement for us to make here on the Business Breakfast after years of not having entertainment in Saudi Arabia. So over what time scale are we talking about? When will number one be open?
Let me say good morning to you and good morning to the listeners. For the cinemas in Saudi, I think now it's been announced by the GIA, which is the General Entertainment Authority in Saudi, that the cinemas will start this year, particularly maybe this month. And for our agreement with the cinemas also is being announced but not yet confirmed. However, we are in the process and final process to go on and move on with the cinemas, especially to start this year also with the government.
This is something, because we've heard that cinemas are going to be allowed in, and I've always wondered how you get the logistics involved in putting everything together, having cinema halls, getting people to know what film is showing, to get people employed to sell ice creams and popcorn and things, and just basically put all the threads together. I mean, it must take quite a long time, and yet you don't even have a confirmed date to start.
I think they said that by this month probably will be the first movie to...
In your cinemas? Will it be in Riyadh?
In Riyadh. It's not our cinemas. It's the kind of the AMC with the PIF, which is the Public Investment Fund for the Saudi. They've got a JV agreement between those two companies to release the first movie in Saudi.
So in other words, you're not producing, yourself and View, the tie-up there is not putting on the first movie?
Not yet.
So you will become later in the year?
Yep.
And this is going to be your first movie?
The world is changing. Soon there will only be the conquered and the conquerors.
Step into the spotlight.
You are a good man.
Step into the spotlight.
With a good heart. And it's hard for a good man to be a king.
It's action. It's the Black Panther. That's going to be the very first film shown in Riyadh, but we're waiting for the date, are we?
It's been announced last week from LA by the General Entertainment Authority and the Public Investment Fund that they will, have a date by 18th of April. So probably they will do it by this day.
I imagine every single person in Saudi Arabia wants to be at the very first one, don't they?
Yeah, sure.
It's not going to be too much marketing. But as you go further down the road, how are you going to do that and sort of advertise cinemas in a market that's not really used to it?
If you see the people who go to the cinemas in the GCC countries, and by the statistics that been released by them, most of the people who go to the cinemas, they said that around 35 to 40% of the viewers in cinemas in the GCC countries, it's Saudis. So I think this is a big advantage for us. And, there's a huge investment and opportunity there. So I think the market is there.
You know the nature of Saudi Arabian citizens. Do you think that they will still come to the UAE and fill those seats? And because we've obviously got a lot of theme parks and other reasons to come to the Gulf states as well. Do you think Saudis will keep coming? Or is that sort of perhaps something of a challenge to this region?
It's not like that. It's not, either or. It's, complementing each other. So part of the Saudis will be, prefer to stay in Saudi, and still Saudis that they prefer to, come to Dubai, change the weather, change, the atmosphere. They will come definitely to Dubai, Bahrain, and the other countries.
My first question for you is actually Malcolm's question, which I'm stealing. So apologies, Malk, because I know you've been asking over the past few days. How will censorship be managed in Saudi Arabia? Every country has its own rules on censorship, what's allowed, what's not allowed, romantic scenes, people being clothing that they're wearing and so on. How do you think Saudi Arabia will approach this?
I think it's been announced from the beginning that there will be a separate entity which they will take care about those things, the sensitivity on the movies, the words, the views. So they took care about it.
I mean, for instance, on television, you don't see kissing. Is that going to be allowed in the cinema, do you think, or not? Probably that'll be cut as well.
Yeah, I think they have their own rules, which is, separated from Dubai, Bahrain. It's different.
Understandable. We know Saudi is different, but do you think that the Saudi cinema censorship will be very much like the television censorship, for instance?
Let me say that let's begin now with the cinema and see the cinemas and let them do whatever they want. Then later, by days and by time, it will be adjusted and it will, come as usual. So let's start and begin. Then later we can adjust whatever need to be adjusted.
What impact is it going to have on the rest of your business? The Al Hokair Group, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate based in Saudi Arabia. You own a number of shopping centres. How are cinemas going to impact that business?
I think when we decided to go to and invest on the cinemas, we know that there is a huge market there. And most of the people in Saudi or even in the GCC countries, maybe you don't know this statistics, but most of our, let's say, footfall in the malls, more than 50% of them, they go only for the entertainment purpose, which is for now in Saudi is the FEC, which is the Family Entertainment Centers, F&B, the restaurants, they eat and they go out. They don't shop, they don't go for the other things. So I think if we introduce and add the cinemas, they will spend more time in our
It's a more holistic approach to entertainment. What instructions have you received about audience segregation?
Not yet been announced, but I think we are in the middle of negotiation with the GIA about this one, and I think there will be no problem.
So do you think it'll be sort of, if you like, men on one side and women and children on the other side, or will it be fully integrated?
I think for the time being it will be fully integrated. But, it will be like, for example, for 2 rows or 3 rows for the men's and the remain for the families.
I understand, yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's a major change. I mean, you must be very excited as a Saudi citizen.
Sure.
What's happening in the kingdom? It's immense, isn't it?
Aren't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've lived in this region for a very long time, and Saudi pace of change now is something we've just never seen before. It's mind blowing, to be honest. And good luck dealing with it, because obviously everything. There are some fun challenges along the way, as well as all the excitement. So we wish you all the very best with that. Michelle Al Hokair, Deputy CEO GM of Entertainment at the Al Hokair Group. Good luck with that, and please come back and talk to us next time you're back in Dubai.
With pleasure. Thank you.
Shukran jazeelan.
There's just so much more to hear.
Download our podcasts at DubaiEye1038.com.